Welcome to State of the Laundry Industry with Laundry Matt, Episode 11, 0 to 126,000 pounds in 14 months. This episode is about a curbside client who just grabbed the bull by its horns and rocked it.
It's like free money. It's like low-hanging fruit to go out there and grab it.
I'd like to welcome Jim Antonos with Allegheny Laundry. He provides just a tremendous success story. He's a curbside laundry's client, and he's just been kicking butt. So he's been using our software for about 14 months, has an incredible journey. I'd like to just ask you how you got into the business and, how you got started and where you're at today.
Well, I bought the laundromat 5 years ago with the quote unquote looking for passive income, and the age old story as far as just throw some machines in there and you're good. But I have a degree in electric and stuff like that. So, and I grew up in the trade, so it was pretty easy for us to fix machines and stuff like that. So basically we got a small inheritance about 6 years ago from my uncle passing away. We took that money, threw it into this laundromat, bought the building and business, and we kind of just muddled along for a few years, put some new equipment in, and we were doing okay, but it was a little we have 21 washers and 15 dryers. So it was just kind of like putzing along, yada, yada, yada. And then one day I was just sitting around and just in the morning we were super slow. I was like, the machines are just sitting here. So I'm like, well, maybe start doing some homework on, pickup and delivery and yada, yada, yada. So that was, when was that? March, April, I guess. I started talking to you and Ken and those guys. And then we just pulled the trigger and paid for the software, and then just grew from there, basically.
Yeah, and you talked about the growth. I'm going to do a screen share of just that showing the growth that you're having at your laundromat. So what you're looking at here is the gross income for Jim's business. And he's has had exceptional growth over the past 14 months. So he started with us, as you can see in the software, it's partway through September 2020. And for those of you who are listening to this online, I'll try and paint you a picture of what we're looking at here. It looks like pretty modest revenue, and because we had to keep the dollar amounts blank. But then in September, it is just off the charts. We're talking about deep, big five-figure numbers, all right? And so in October, November 2020, when he first started, it looks like it barely shows up on the chart because 2021 is making so much more money that it makes 2020 look like nothing. But it turns out 2020 was actually really good. Jim's probably making here over twice as much as what most laundromats make in wash and fold per month. And that was 1 year ago. And now an incredible part is it's November 2nd, and Jim has already done better than his 2020 November. Okay, so in 2 days, Jim did better in 2021 in 2 days than he did in all of November last year. So imagine it's just crazy. So then fast forward, and another thing, a pattern you'll see on this chart, and I tell this to clients all the time, after about 3 months, a lot of our clients experience tremendous growth. And because we provide a top-notch website at Curbside Laundries, and that's one of the reasons why our clients do so well. The other thing, it's really important, we send over some information as far as what you need to do to make your website rank even better. And it's really important to do those things. So if you're a curbside client, make sure you do those things because those things do help. So now, after about 3 months, his business just picked up a whole bunch. It may not look like much compared to where he's at now, but it's tremendous growth. I mean, basically by March, in about 5 months, he's doing triple what he was doing in November. So in about 5 months, he tripled his business, and then he basically tripled his business again. I mean, basically Jim is doing about 8 times as much business as this year in this September than he did in last November. 8 times. And he was doing really good back in November. So we help our clients excel. One thing you'll notice, another big jump, besides after the 3 months I was talking about, he had another big jump in revenue And that was because he started doing pay-per-click advertising through Marathon Consulting. So Jim gives a lot of credit to Marathon Consulting for doing just tremendous work on Google AdWords. And you could see him having another jump as a result of being real aggressive with Google advertising. So we're big believers in Google advertising, but we're also really big on organic, getting customers organically. And they go hand in hand because this way you're making money. So Jim made all his money going organic. We got him to a certain point, and then he was able to afford to double down and start paying for Google AdWords, and now he's doing even better. So it's just a great business to be in. I was just curious as far as your expectations when you started with Curbside and where you're at now, and you're happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, I mean, it's super, like I said, the software is intuitive for everybody to use. The expectation was, I didn't know what we were going to do, first month or two, and, it's daunting once you start out like, hey, man, I got this bill from the Curbside. Yeah, it's like whatever it is. I don't even know how much it is now, which is silly because it's only been 14 months, but you're like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all this. But once you do it and you figure out some kind of system and get the advertising, it's good. But I mean, from your guys' perspective, I mean, I came out and seen you guys in July, toured your place, just because I didn't know, especially you're talking to your mother and your dad. It was super cool. They've been in the game a long time. So that, helping out and stuff like that. But from, Curbside's perspective, it's life changing, what I mean? And we're talking 150,000 pounds of laundry this year. And it's our first full year. I mean, we're probably looking at doing 300,000 next year. And
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. So like me and my wife, really appreciate Curbside from that perspective, talking to you guys down to earth, like you guys are in the business. It's not like you're selling me something that you don't know nothing about. So, and you guys developed it. As we grow and you guys grow, what I mean? You guys come a long way too with people and help and stuff like that. And, we appreciate it.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm curious as far as knowing what now you've been in it and just immersed in it for just a little bit over a year. What do you think about like ride sharing services, whether it's like Uber or DoorDash? So imagine if you're outsourcing to an individual who you know nothing about.
Yeah, I don't envision that working at all. Just from a perspective, like first off, that they don't work for you. So you know what I mean? Like they're on their schedule. Communication would be an issue with them, changing things on the fly. Somebody cancels. Hey, we have an add-on pickup. Like you're better off, spending the time, having the extra money out of the gate, hiring that driver, biting the bullet, if they can do both, wash, clean up, do that. But to sub it out, basically, like, I just think you're asking for trouble. It's just not I feel, good business practice. We have a lot of our customers that sees the same driver. We run a north and south route. So they see the same driver, they're comfortable with them, especially the older people, like, hey, this, Joe's coming, on Wednesday, and they love it, versus having anybody come and then just, appearance too, what I mean? We've been working on uniforms and stuff like that. So you look like a clean cut professional operation, not like, a bunch of hobos picking up some laundry,
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, the driver is that maybe the only person from your laundromat that they see, or
Yes.
from your laundry service, and they represent your company. So you're running a company and you're growing quickly. And what you would say to a laundry owner who's kind of on the fence of getting into, they've got the laundromat, they're on the fence as far as getting into pickup and delivery. So if you're talking to one of those laundry owners and they're thinking about getting into pickup and delivery, what would you say to them?
Well, we started out, we didn't do any laundry at all, drop off. We didn't have a drop off clientele when we started. So from that standpoint, it's way easier. I feel, under the pickup and delivery, because people want the convenience, but also you can kind of dictate schedule when it gets back out to them. As far as if you're on the fence with it, if you have the time to support it, like it's tremendous as far as growth. How we got going, it was no secret. You know what I mean? We just, picked up the phone and called some people, and then, we got up and running with you guys. But it has to be easy for your girls. You got to have space. Like we have a separate folding room. We're fortunate. We own the building in both places. So we have a separate area that's a 32 square foot table that we can process. We can push the 35 to 40 pounds per hour, limit, as far as that, and be more productive. I mean, we've only been doing this 14 months, and I think we did 126,000 pounds so far this year. And, it's like free money. It's like low hanging fruit to go out there and grab it.
I think that's the best way to sum it up. It's there for you to grab it. Thank you for tuning in to the State of the Laundry Industry podcast. Jim has taken his business to the next level using Curbside Laundry's wash and fold and pickup and delivery solution. We could feature a different client, a different successful client every week for years, and we'll probably do something like that. If you'd like to learn more about the Curbside software package that helped Jim, go to curbsidelaundries.com to learn more and schedule a demo. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.